The Saints have struggled on offense. Marshawn, do you think some of the Saints players need to eat some Skittles right now and kind of get some things done?
Man, I think they need to eat something, but I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I hope they don't. I don't want to see them game another dog. But I know, to my defense, I want to see us come out with a win. See, look, if they continue to do more plays like that, I'm fine with that. Oh shit!
I'm trying to convince Skittles. Did you ever try to convince teammates saying, "Hey, if you eat candy during the game, you'll play a lot better"?
No, but what they did was, if we was having a bad night out there, they for sure would go to the depths of the earth to try and find some candy for me. Like, no, they'll go to the end. Is your mama in the stands? I'm going to go find your mama in the stands. Tell her bring you some candy or something. They would make sure of that. But hold on, I did that. If a team comes out, go ahead, go. No, I was saying, we was talking about my run over there. That's pretty cool, but I'm talking to two great players. You feel me? Louisville actually threw a ball to a dude when he caught it with his head. Like, I mean, I think they're pretty impressive. It didn't have the earthquake. The dude caught a ball with his head and shit, though. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's pretty impressive, dude. So,
we practiced that just like that. It turned out like we practiced. Aim for the head, too. The Seattle has not got many sacks. They have not got many sacks all season. And they're getting to it. Looks like they're playing a little
single safety.
A little one hole. One plug still. One plug. Man to man.
Safety. Everybody knows where to line up. There's no bust. Everybody's in the right position. Defensive line is the secondary best friend. You're exactly right. Seattle has lined that pass right. It's going to help the secondary target. Yeah, that's great. The Tampa Bay Bucks offers you a contract tomorrow. Would you come back and play? No. As much as I would love to go line it up with TV, I just I'm satisfied where I'm at. And I would have some stipulations. Or you dispose it every time, so you can get 700 touchdowns. So it might not be a good offense for it. He on his way. I mean, you know what? It would probably work out for him. Because I wouldn't probably want to run too much, and I'm pretty good at picking up pass pro. So I would sit back there a little bit, but if I could take one of y'all with me, so I could be sitting on the bench to have some of this good conversation. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do it all day. But I don't know how ready y'all want to go back to the field.
I'm good. I see, Marshawn, you're doing a lot of commercials. I see you doing a lot of commercials, a lot of funny ones. Have you? Is your goal to maybe catch Peyton in the number of commercials ever made on TV?
Look, I would just say somebody gave me a stat. Because I think your
commercial stats
just all over. Yeah, just all over everything. So I mean, at first it wasn't a goal of mine, but now that I'm building a little portfolio or whatever. I mean, I think I could, but what I really want to get I want to get the game. But I mean, I didn't know like how tied in with Tommy John was. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I want to get tapped in like that.
I hear you.
Eli, good run there by Gino a minute ago. Against Pittsburgh, he tried to run like that. TJ Watt came and kind of swiped the ball out. So better job right there, getting upfield, getting down on the ground. Turnovers are going to kill you. Protecting that ball. Bad weather. Protect that football, right, Marshawn? That's the key. Protect that ball. Protect it. Oh, what the fuck?
I don't think.
Oh!
Hey, I don't don't think they had a play. I don't think there was a play, and the center just snapped it. No one else knew what the play was. It's like a dummy cadence. That was like, what are you?
Pete's saying, Pete's going, no, it was 0. Don't count that play.
Let's do a reader trying to get it to get it to the quarter. Hey, get the jump off sides, and the center snapped it.
You're the best. Thank you, man.
I think Marshawn just dropped the what the you know what.
Show super fan Jeremy. Jeremy, it's a long season. How do you unwind?
Well, I grab a Corona,
Go on.
and I watch football. And that is it.
Find what can make a good life.
Surprise fees are coming! Domino's has surprise fees!
Other delivery apps add surprise fees, but Domino's is adding up to $15 million in surprise fees to online delivery orders. And we tried some unique ways to tell people they're getting free.
For 11 generations, we have been mastering the art of making tequila. Creating something so smooth.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I think I gotta go over here to this.
We're a family of maestros, and this is our legacy.
Chromebooks are a new way to laptop, starting with the everything button, so you can find your finds, or apps, and even answers online, instantly. And Chromebooks are secure, with virus protection that's built in, so no more of this, and a lot more peace of mind. So peaceful. So if you're ready to upgrade to fast, easy, and secure, don't just switch to a new laptop. Switch to a new way to laptop. Switch to Chromebook.
What if you turned on your kitchen faucet and every faucet in the house came on? That's how your parents' heating and air conditioning works. The next generation is here. With Mitsubishi mini split systems, you can heat or cool each room separately. Call Carini Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's a smart choice.
At JW we know time is money for our contractors. Whether you're building a deck, fence, or patio cover, get your high-quality materials quick. Just pull in and load up. J&W Lumber, your #1 source for outdoor building materials.
TheTrouser.com.
All right, we got Tom Brady coming up here next, and of course Sue Bird and Drew Brees in the second half. I want to thank Marshawn Lynch. Not as wild about the language. I want to apologize for some of the language. It's not what we're trying to do on this show. I had to remind Eli that this show is live. So Eli's learned his lesson. Marshawn, I probably should have reminded him. Keep your hands down, Eli. Anyway, we apologize for that. But anyway, let's get back to some football here, E. Cross the 50, Eli. This is what we always call the strike zone, right? It's a good chance to take a shot. You have the red zone down there inside the 25-yard line. We call this the strike zone. It's a good chance to go down the field.
That fellow naked, little bootleg right there again. Latimer, that's Latimer again, and man-to-man coverage. Again, the Saints, they trust their DBs. They got beat on the one big play. They're not going to get away from what they do. They like 7 guys in the box. They're going to stop the run. And the DB is kind of like a quarterback. After you throw an interception, you just forget about it. You move on, and you say, hey, this is what we do. I like to play press man-to-man. Latimer, he has a short memory. He's one of the best, and he knows it, and he plays like it.
Something might be coming out of this team, right?
Looks like they're going empty.
Maybe coming out. Let's see. They called timeout, right? They only had 5 guys to block. They had 6 guys there in the interior. Probably going to be a hot call timeout. Get to a better play. Maybe bring the time in the block. That's a good timeout there by Gino. I don't mind that one at all. Right? You've got 5 guys to protect, right? There's 6 guys lined up right there across.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be their game plan. Seattle's done a lot of empty with Gino. And it's great. You can get a lot of guys out, but if you can zone blitz it and bring some exotic blitzes, it's hard to pick up all those guys. If you got defensive ends dropping and blitzing away from that defensive end, you don't have a running back to scan the defense to pick up any extra blitzers. You got to make some calls. And 3rd and 7, if it's 3rd and 3 or 4, you can throw a hot, right? The receiver might just peek and you can throw it to him, get the first down. 3rd and 7. those Hots don't get the first down. So I don't like versus Saints. I don't like empty on 3rd and long because on 3rd and long, that's when the Saints are bringing a lot of their junk blitzes, overload blitz, like right here.
Back in the backfield. Yeah, the top away. Now the back in the backfield. You know, they blitzed the nickel. The back missed it. The back should have scanned, like you said, came across the center, blocked that nickel off the slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Nickel so right here. Right, the back should be coming over here.
Yeah.
Gino kind of feels that flash. He bails out early. He rolls left. Unfortunately, every receiver is on the right. That's a problem. So, good throwaway there.
Yeah, you know, I think Gino does a good job of extending some plays, right? I think, does a good job of not as good as Russell. I think Russell is one of the greatest guys in the pocket, extending plays. Oh. And so, I mean, this is, we tried to go to a silent count under center. Nothing was working. We were just jumping off sides left and right.
Yes, let's talk about the silent count. Now, let's watch Jameis Winston under center, right? They're still doing the silent count. He's not calling a verbal audio cadence. Watch him motion. He's going to tap the center on the butt. That means he's ready for the ball when the center snaps it, right? I'll show you here. I don't know if I can demonstrate in this tight jersey, but basically he's under center, right? He taps the center. That means he's ready. The center doesn't have to snap it right then. That just tells the center Jameis is ready. If I'm the center and I feel that tap, then I lift my head up and then snap it. And the guards and the tackles, they can feel that center lifting his head, right? They can see that and they anticipate the snap count off of that. That's how the silent count works under center. So I'll talk about shotgun silent count when I talk about it.
There's Hot. There's Ghost Pepper Nugget Hot.
This looks like from Queen. Making too much noise. Too much noise. That's making too much noise. Sorry, everyone. Hey, dude. I actually had to shut off the washer and dryer. You know, your mouth is beyond anything I can take right now, so just shut up. Yeah, great. Hey, man, thank you, Trev. It was a great show today. Wasn't that thing great? A lot of people on, too. Thank you, Trev. People that totally care about my talent. How about people who talk like that? Does it make you crazy when people talk like that? My talent is on display. You're like, Jesus Christ, give me a break, guy. And you. And you got one. Gardner Minshew, I guarantee you that the Eagles lose to the Lions. You watch. They'll lose to the Lions this weekend. Hey, Chris, do this for me. Just remind, if you can, just remind me to do. I'll tell you what we're doing here a little bit. I'm going to be doing like a live read for the Hooters in the stop set because I have it on my YouTube and we're doing like social media stuff. So I'm going to do it when we go to break on my YouTube. How's that? No, just if you can remind me. Yeah. When we go to break, hey, you might want to read it here. Thank you. That's yeah. Not really, but yeah, I need you for a second. So no, then you go back to being somebody that I don't care. Go ahead. What do you want? I'm sorry. Oh, dude, I know you did. It wasn't you, man, and it wasn't Janet. Janet's picking the pieces up. I know. Yes. And get this, know this. Even Steve goes like this. Lappy goes, I feel so bad for those guys because these guys are now realizing what would happen. I'm not saying anything. I'll do it in code. Don't worry. But you guys are just going like this now. Oh my God, really? I understand. Good for you, man. And I'm glad to be here with it. I was so pissed off because and you know what was really cool? They go like this. Well, we'll figure it out. And I went, that's great. So it's great. Good evening, America. Dan Sileo, USA Radio, and I hope all are having a spectacular night. I am. I live in America. Thank you so much for coming aboard. Hope you had a great weekend. Man, is the sports world not on fire? Highest rated shows on television are sports. Nothing else comes close. Nothing else comes close. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Well, if you tune on most shows today, they're politically driven. And again, not going to pick a side because, quite frankly, I'm in my zone now, and I don't really care. I don't care talking Republican. I don't care. Because I'm having a great time watching what's going on in the sports world. It's fabulous. Baseball, we have World Series now, right? Astros and Braves, two teams that do it right. Farm system up. That's how those organizations have always prospered. College football on Saturdays, unbelievable season. And when I say unbelievable season, it's Georgia, it seems, and everyone else. Alabama kind of struggled a little bit against Tennessee this past weekend. They stepped on the gas pedal and ended up getting it done. How about the NFL? By the way, I want to show you the difference in what one guy can do to a team who had been considered the laughing stock of the NFL. And he was told, you weren't good enough. Let's see. 4 years ago. I want to get into that right now, and I want to start that. Folks, I want to show you what one man can do to a franchise, or one man can do to a company, or one man could do maybe to America if he's the right guy. You guys know the history of the Cincinnati Bengals? Laughingstock. The Browns are cheap. They really don't spend a lot of money. Actually, in the last year, they have, because of one man. That one man is Joe Burrow. That guy and the Cincinnati Bengals went into Baltimore and beat the brakes off of Lamar Jackson and a very hot Ravens team. The Bengals, right now, I want to throw something out at you. Do you know if the playoffs were to start today, do you know who the number one seed in the AFC is? The Cincinnati Bengals. They're the top team in the AFC. What? They're now Super Bowl contenders because of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's story is really cool. Ohio native. His dream as a kid was to go and play at Ohio State. Every kid's dream, if you're from that state, is to go play at Ohio State. Hell, it was a dream of mine to play at Ohio State. Burrow gets there. Talented people all over the lineup. Obviously, you see the draft every year. Buckeyes put a lot of people in the NFL draft. Urban Meyer and Ryan Day, who would become the curtain hit football coach. You know what they told Joe Burrow? Dwayne Haskins and this kid we have, Justin Fields, who's transferring in from Georgia. These are going to be the guys that are going to, they're going to be our quarterbacks. Joe, I think it's in the best interest if you transfer. You imagine how heartbroken you are, Ohio native, being told that you can't play at your beloved Ohio State Buckeyes. Would that not send a lot of people in the toilet and in the tank? Absolutely. I've lived that. Being told you can't play at a place for whatever reason. Coaches don't believe in you. They don't back you. They're not believers in you. So what does Burrow do? He looks for a new home. One of the places that he calls is Ed Orgeron and LSU. Ed's not sold on the kid right away. Gets him down, brings him. They start having dinner. And you know what? Through that dinner, Ed knew he had the guy. He said, there's something about this dude, man. You know one thing you can say about Ed Orgeron? I know all the things that are being said about him now in his tenure at LSU, even though he did deliver a national championship and an SEC title. One of only 7 men since 1980 to win a national championship from the Southeastern Conference. You know what he can do? He can spot talent and leadership. Burrow takes his LSU Tigers to a national championship and they win it. In the process, he wins the Heisman. In the process, he becomes the number 1 draft choice in the NFL. And everyone even questioned that, whether he would be that guy. Bengals take him. You know what they were telling him? Don't go to Cincinnati, kid. They'll ruin you. You won't be able to change the Bengals around. It's a crap hole. It's one of the places where quarterbacks go and die. Bro goes, nah. You draft me number 1. I'm in Ohio, my native Ohio, and I'm going to make this one work. The Bengals are now the number 1 seed as of today in the AFC because of one man. Changes a horrible franchise around in 12 months. Goes into Baltimore, like I said, and beats the brakes off that Lamar Jackson Ravens team. The kid Chase from LSU had 200 yards receiving. You're like, what is going? It looked like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. I was floored. I'm watching this going, Baltimore doesn't know what to do. And Baltimore had been playing great football. And it wasn't close. One man changed the entire landscape. No matter how bad the organization had been falling over itself for the last 2 decades. One guy goes in there, organization makes him the number 1 pick, and fortunes are changed. See what happens when you get the right guy in the right place at the right time. How hard is that journey to find that right guy, though? Man, companies, our country, we struggle at times finding that. Just think of it. The Bengals have been struggling for 2 decades trying to find that guy. Maybe since Boomer Esiason or Carson Palmer, if you want to go there. Now they got a guy who's going to lead them out of purgatory. And you're one of the... Wait a minute. Can I say that? I must be living in a pseudo world right now. The Bengals are one of the best teams in the NFL. Can that be right? What a story. What a story. Is the head coach's name Zach Taylor? I think his name is Zach Taylor. I don't know anything about this guy. It's Zach Taylor, right? He's the head coach of the Bengals. Okay. And Trev, who's on my social media. By the way, if you want to join the show, as many of you do each and every single night, you could join us through our Twitch and YouTube, now Facebook too. Appreciate everybody coming aboard. I think it's Zach Taylor. Crazy. Just a crazy story. And by the way, there's a Brady quality about the guy. There's just a Brady quality about Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. All right, speaking of Brady. So Brady throws his 600th career touchdown pass. And I shake my head at it, you know. And by the way, real quick here for a second. The kid or the guy who gave the football up is an idiot. You're an idiot for giving the ball back. You know what Barry Bonds' 756th home run went for? $1 million. Tom Brady having his 600th career NFL touchdown. You're getting a couple jerseys and some tickets. Kid, you might want to have a conversation with somebody before you gave that football up. Because it was coded and everything. They coded it. It's the ball. And the kid goes, yeah, here for Tom. I know what the lunatics out there are going, hey, man, that's the right thing to do, is to screw that. By the way, here, just so you know when a player goes to an NFL team, at least in my sport, and somebody's wearing your number, man, you got to fork up like $25,000 to the player and ask him. He may not even want to give the number up. When players have a number that they wear, they usually go to a place and they offer some cash up for the jersey that the guy's wearing. Here's $100,000. Here's a Rolex, whatever. A lot of players do that. You know, Brady had to pay for 12. Goodwin wore 12. The wide receiver for the Buccaneers, he had to chalk up some money. Why wouldn't you think that somebody should chalk up some money for that Brady football? Dude, man, that was a poor decision, to say the least. Poor decision. I mean, really, So anyway, but Brady gets his 600th career touchdown pass. This guy is so freaking great. The Bucs, get this. Here's the beautiful thing about Tom Brady. It's both records and rings. It's both records and rings. How many guys have been able to match that up? Records and rings. I own every record there is in NFL history, and I own every record book and every win record there is in the sport. How many people have been able to do that? Russell couldn't do it. Russell was never like Chamberlain. I'm thinking of the great winners. Jordan was never the all-time leading scorer like Kareem was. Points per game, he's in there with Wilt. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not every record in the NBA record book is Jordan's, even when he retired. But when Brady retires, he'll own everything. Wins in the postseason. Most passes and most touchdowns in the postseason. Regular season as well. He will own the record book like Wayne Gretzky owned the record book. See, the difference there, too, is Wayne has 4 Stanley Cup championships with Edmonton. So he has the records and the rings. But when Gretzky, what was it? What was the number? Like, it was like a crazy number. Wasn't it like 262 records when Gretzky left of the record book? Had Wayne's name near it? It's still something like 130 something that Wayne has. I mean, there's never been a greater, never will be a greater offensive player in the history of the NHL that can compare even close to what Gretzky did. And we're looking at the same thing here. Brady's now, he's 6-1. The Bucks are off to their best start in franchise history. Franchise history. He's off to his best touchdown number in his career. You know, the year that he threw for 50 touchdowns with Randy Moss. He's going to eclipse that because there's another game this year, the 17th game. Tom Brady. I just can't say enough, man. This guy is incredible in what he has accomplished. The type of winning, the consistency of winning, the never letting up of the gas pedal. It's remarkable. Congratulations to you, TB. I mean, we're talking about 600 touchdown passes. That will never be broken. Unbelievable. Coaches on the hot seat in the NFL. And the media is afraid to say it, and I'm going to say it. I'll tell you who they are. We'll do it next. You keep it on the Dan Sileo Show.
I think you got it. So they played zone. They played zone. They had some crossing routes. They had all these crossers. They zoned it off. I love crossing.
I heard. Look at this. Brady's on with Eli Manning and Peyton.
I mean, all the analytics, you know, do you go for it or not? I mean, the series was not going really well down there.
Thank you. I'm sorry?
All of a sudden, you're going to be good on fourth down.
Yeah, it's okay. Good. Let me listen to somebody that makes sense.
You got a few more questions when you come back, and I promise you we'll let you go after that. You can get to bed. Put your pajamas on now if you want, pal.
All right, baby, I will. I need my Old Miss pajamas.
Yeah, man, it's actually very good tonight. Get this, Eli goes, they just went to commercial. So get this. So Eli goes, because I guess they must have lost the bet. And Peyton's got a Eli Manning Ole Miss jersey on. And he goes like this. Eli goes, hey, man, you know, I heard you wanted a game worn Eli Manning Ole Miss jersey, but I was afraid to send one because I didn't want the neck area stretched out because of your gigantic head. So I didn't want to send you like one of the original ones. Hilarious, man. Brothers ripping each other. It's funny. Peyton Manning's got a big head, just in case, you didn't get that, because I'm sure, oh, wow. Man, what a train wreck. hard it is to get these frickers on. You know what I mean? I mean, and then no. By the way, so you know, make sure you convey that to her. Oh my God, you guys are great. I knew, because get this, Steve had been prepping me for behind Tidita. Okay. And he had been like telling me, be prepared because these people, watch this. You know what he said? So, they're going to something. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, because really horrific weather right now. Oh, okay. No. What I'm saying is that those guys. I mean, Steve had been telling me that he knew that this was coming for you guys because he knew how we did business. I don't know. You know what? There'll always be something that'll sneak up on you that you guys aren't prepared for because you know what? It looks like to me he had a lot of muskrat trap. Watch this though. You know what? Your love for the guy now has absolutely nothing to do with the business of the guy. You know what I mean? There's two different things there. Yeah. Yeah. I got you, man. We're all good. Wow. I hear you. That sucks. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. By the way, I really enjoy the Monday night simulcast with Peyton and Eli. Tom Brady's on. And so let me get this right. There's 7 Super Bowls between these 3 guys. That's pretty impressive, okay? All right. You have 11 Super Bowls between these guys. All 3 are going to the Hall of Fame. One's in already in Peyton. I mean, good grief almighty. You know, Eli, I'll tell you something. I don't really think that Eli Manning was that great of a regular season quarterback in the NFL, but one of the streakiest quarterbacks in the history of the postseason is Eli Manning. Guess who he beat? And by the way, always remember this, and it's to always get to Tom Brady. Brady's losses, he has 3 losses in the Super Bowl. 2 of them are to Eli. Tell me that doesn't get under Tom Brady's skin. Yeah. I mean, the 2 things that bug him the most are his loss to Eli. You know, he hates the fact that he lost to those 2 guys. It's incredible. I mean, really, Eli Manning will probably make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. All right. Football is dominant right now. World Series way. How about the Dodgers, man? I'm going to make a point to you before I get into coaches on the hot seat here. I'm going to say something to you about Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw is the worst future Hall of Fame player for the postseason in Major League Baseball history. Yeah. He ain't no Madison Bumgarner. Okay? He ain't Dave Stewart. Clayton Kershaw is not a very good postseason pitcher. And unfortunately, that will be on his tombstone. When you look at his numbers for the regular season, Clayton Kershaw will be compared to Sandy Koufax in that Dodger organization. He'll be compared to Koufax. And his numbers are rightfully so compared to Koufax. But Koufax in the World Series, this guy was microscopic of an ERA. And he's taken out the Yankees with Mantle in them. I mean, Sandy Koufax, because he didn't really I think Sandy Koufax 166 career wins. Got to remember, folks, he did not have this legendary career, okay, that people think he had, that where he was a 300. Sandy Koufax is not even a 200 win pitcher. He doesn't have 200 wins. This guy doesn't. Frank Viola has more wins. Jack McDowell has more wins. Andy Pettit has more wins than Koufax. But where did Koufax make his name? Postseason. Dominant. And for that time of 6 years where he won 27 ball games, there wasn't a better arm in baseball history, especially from the left-hand side of the rubber, than Sandy Koufax. Clayton Kershaw, though, made his name in the regular season, and that is it. Madison Bumgarner is a Hall of Fame guy. He is an absolute Hall of Fame guy. Okay? He really is. He phenomenal. Hey, by the way, do me a favor, folks. If you are in the Phoenix area, this goes out to our great friends in the Phoenix area, man. Unbelievable stuff going on there, especially with everything with the Arizona Cardinals. You got to love it, man. Really, they're undefeated. Arizona State, Arizona, season tier week, happy hour at Hooters, half off select appetizers, $3 domestic drafts every single Monday. You're always looking for a great time at Hooters, only at Hooters from 3 to 6. Tell them Big Sil sent you. I'll get to some of the coaches on the hot seat. We'll do it next. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. Yep. That'll help me out a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, Dusty, he shot the pooch when he had that lead with the Giants against the Angels, and he screwed that entire pitching rotation up. And there's no question. Bonds hit 465 in that series. They couldn't get him out. Wasn't Barry Bonds. No, I think someone else was that manager.
You were there. I mean, for God's sake.
Believe me. Believe me, Eli has them, and he's showing on me. I mean, he's got me in his jersey right now. I can promise you there's some negative plays coming up here in a minute. Hey, Eli, that was the same situation as a minute ago. Hey, Eli, it was empty. Saints were kind of threatening with an interior blitz. They called the timeout again to avoid the hot. Here we go.
And that's a yes, and that's a 9-game series. And yes, and oh God, it's one of the absolutely most sought after trophies of all time too. There's this golden coconut sits on the top. Absolute no, absolutely not. That guy is actually the sacrificial guy that we have, because we have like a head cutting ceremony where we cut the head off of somebody on a sacrifice before the game, And he supposedly is the first guy. Yeah, well, I don't care if it's nice. Okay, it's what reality is. Oh, it is. Oh no! I thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes. See, because you don't have to Garth of the Northong here on this island here. You don't have to do that like you do when you go to like where the Coneheads live. Oof. I can't believe they got Tom Brady on this thing.
And your speed to standing there, like a lot of these guys let those D linemen get close and then they escape, And for us,
that's a great call. There's no way the Patriots would be in favor of this.
So there's another survivor.
Hey, you see now, Seattle is blitzing Adams, but playing cover 2 behind it. So they still want to be that cover 2, but kind of the best of both worlds is blitzing Adams and then playing cover 2 behind us. So we have the 2-minute warning here. But Tom, you got to stay with us and watch this 2-minute drive because there's not many people better than you at doing the.
I'm sorry. Did you say something? If you didn't, I'm thrilled. Oh, we got real. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. I'll say some things here tonight that I know is not fashionable to say on normal sports talk stations because they're cowards. And because what they've allowed is they've allowed what the mainstream media does. If you happen to get this, you see, in my world, if you happen to say something about a coach, sports fans don't look at it as whether or not he's a black coach, a Muslim coach, whatever kind of coach. They look at him, he's a coach. And he's being engaged on winning and losing. When you talk politics and you take a shot at a politician, it automatically goes to being a misogynist or a racist. If you happen to say something about a woman or a black politician or actor or any of that stuff. How race and gender become part in an evaluation of one's work, it still boggles my mind. How do we do that? Why does that have anything to do with one's success or failure? Why is that part of the equation? You know why? Because it's easy to distract. You take your eye off the ball with that stuff. These idiots today that bring up race all the time when they can to stop a narrative or to change focus onto something. It's now becoming so evident when people do that. It's really wearing off now. And when true racism does exist in our country, people are blind to it now because it's constantly being thrown in there. Like when you make a comment about Mike Tomlin, who, by the way, no one, I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to justify what I'm going to say here because you know what people like to do? They like to say this, Mike Tomlin, he's one of my favorite coaches and I'd love to play for him. And then you go into saying something, that's cover. I'm not doing that. I don't do that stuff. That's what people do when they want to bring race up. They kind of like, they give you backhanded slaps on it. Mike Tomlin is a great coach. Great coach. And his name's being thrown around for USC. He's probably going to have his first losing season in 15 years. People are talking trash on him. Okay? He's an NFL head coach. He makes $9 million a year. He's in Pittsburgh. He's always going to feel heat. That's just what it is, though. you're an NFL head coach, and when you don't win, no matter who you are, what race you are, has nothing to do with it. It comes down to winning and losing. There's no color in winning and losing. And people, at least in my profession, I'm so happy they don't bring that up. I really am. In your profession, like news, the business of news, you guys constantly hit that. I'm so happy that's not my world. Here, let me throw this at you here. So Robert Saleh, the head coach, the first Muslim coach in NFL history, why that's part of this narrative, I guess it is the narrative, and I guess that's why he gets the hall pass by woke New York media. I watched a coach who had a bye come out of the bye in his football team, not be prepared. Looks like they weren't coached. Their second round pick, or the second pick in the first round, was so not prepared. He left the game and he wasn't able to come back because of injury. That guy's not ready to be a head coach in the NFL. Nobody's going to say that, though, because you know what they did? They fell in love with the story. They fell in love with the fact that he was the first Muslim coach. They fell in love that they got somebody. He's not, I don't care. He sucks. He is not ready to be a head coach. Plain and simple. He's not ready. Well, can you say, yes, I can. The Philadelphia Eagles are struggling with that right now with Nick Sirianni. That guy is not ready to be a head coach. See, it doesn't matter what your color is or your religion. It matters if you're motivating men. That's it. Plain and simple. If you're motivating men and you're winning games and you're getting the result, Jesus, criminy. But see, New York City media are going light on the guy. They're going light on him. Trust me when I tell you this. If that were another dude in another market like Philly, Sirianni is being destroyed by the media. New York City is doing nothing. And both these coaches have had the same amount of time. Same amount of time. And one guy's getting a hall pass, and the other guy is getting destroyed. That's my problem with coverage. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I care if you're good. Watch this. Dan Campbell in Detroit is 0-7. I feel great about him and what he's doing in Detroit. I feel so much better about what I'm seeing in Detroit. They hadn't won a game yet. They're playing hard. They're getting better every week. They're getting closer. They're getting close. You know, Tony Dungy started his coaching career 0-8. And I remember saying this. I don't know, man. There's a formula, though, that you're seeing. And you saw Dungy's guys getting better and better and better and better and better. I see the same thing with Dan Campbell. I look at Nick Sirianni, and I look at Robert Saleh with the Jets. Sorry, I don't see it. I just don't see it. And it becomes troubling because one guy gets the whole pass and the other guy doesn't because he's black or his religion or he's this or he's that. What does that have to do with anything? Where did we come and where have we come from? That is something that we have to add in to the discussion. Well, black guys don't get the same time that white. You got the head coaching job, dude. You've got the job. How do we get into that? Let me like when a guy is being evaluated to become the new CEO of PepsiCo or at Apple or what have you. Are you hiring somebody because they're black? Or are you hiring someone because they're great? Don't you think you miss hiring the right person when you have an agenda like that? When you're just hiring somebody to appease a mob, aren't you not doing the service to the rest of the people in your organization? By the way, if you hire a woman, if you hire a black man, if you hire a white guy, a Jew, a Protestant, a cat, who cares? I hate this time in our country when those are part of the discussions now. Really. It's disgusting. I never in a million years ever wanted to play for a black coach. I wanted to play for the right coach. And if you happen to be black or a woman, phenomenal. Great. Congratulations to you. Do you know that this is what makes Bruce Arians such a great coach? Bruce Arians has two coordinators that are black. I'm going to tell you what he told me. He's got a position coach that's a woman that works in the defensive line, and he also has a strength and conditioning coach who's a woman who's an assistant. These are all huge jobs. These are not just, hey, you know what? It looks good, for the public image of the NFL. These women have really big-time jobs. I asked Bruce, I'm like, Bruce, I love the diversity. He goes, Dan, I never even noticed it until someone pointed it out to me. I was like, okay, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, when I did interviews for guys that I liked and guys that I trusted and guys that were talented, I just put the best people in front of me. I put the 10 best resumes in front of me, and it laid out the way it did lay out. It wasn't like, well, let me hire this coach and let me hire that and let me do this so it looks good for the public. You know how many organizations do that? I say a lot more than you think. I think a lot more than you think, man. I think a lot more people are worried about public reception. And I said reception. You want to be received by the public, that you're doing civic things inside of your organization for your community, instead of doing the right thing for the men inside the locker room or the women that work inside the organization. And people go, well, on the hot seat. I'm talking about guys that I'm seeing as first-year coaches. And Robert Saleh getting a pass because he's a Muslim is not good enough for me. But then again, it's the Jets. And you know what? Robert Saleh may be actually a good coach, but he's with the Jets. Zach Wilson may actually be a good quarterback, but he's with the Jets. There's just certain places that are the abyss of sports. That's one of them. It's a landfill. It's a landfill for people who want Todd Bowles, who's the defensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, who just signed a 4-year contract extension. Bruce Arians said he's not going to be coaching another 4 years. So this guy's going to be your head coach. Okay? He got that job there in the Jets, and it was a mess. Anybody who goes there or to Arizona, now that thing's turning into a gold mine for Cliff Kingsbury. There's just certain places. But our coverage today of how we look at people is now starting to filter down from the news media. It's troubling. When I'm ripping someone or I'm giving someone praise for doing a great job, the color of your skin or your religion should have no bearing on anything. My God Almighty, do you like it has no bearing with fans when you're sitting in the stands too, right? Wow. People worry about way more BS than what truly needs to be. I just want the right guy. Okay? I just want the right dude in the room. Certain places are always going to be that way. Hey, Robert Saleh was a great defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and they're sorely missing him. Here, let me give you another end of this, too. So Kyle Shanahan, he stinks as a coach. He'll have his 4th losing season in 5 years. How and why do you keep telling me because his last name is Shanahan? He's had 1 year where they went 13-3. The rest of them have been, do you know he almost has the same win percentage as Mike Singletary? Why are people continuing to tell me that Kyle Shanahan is a good coach? Public perception? Because his last name is Shanahan? And he's Mike Shanahan's kid? Come on, man. The guy's not good. Like I told you before, a coach is only gauged on the record he puts out in front of you because it's the only thing we can evaluate him on. You know, whether you like him or not, whatever you think of him or not, it really is irrelevant. What's your one-loss record, man? What's Parcells say all the time? You are what your record says, right? You are what your record is, dude. And Mike Shanahan's just not a very good coach. Well, you know, he's really no, he's not really. All right. Hey, folks, do me a favor. Please go over to our fabulous folks at podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. Headphones, earbuds, anything that you need, they have them for you. Microphones, processors. If you're a gamer, this is your one-stop place as well. Furniture to set up your home studio. A lot of people now, you know, because of the pandemic, we've all realized you could do a lot of your stuff from your home studio. Podcaster Warehouse is perfect. Use the promo code Sileo. S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. You can spend as much as $5 to $5,000. This is your place. Podcasterwarehouse.com. Podcasterwarehouse.com. I'm going to show you how to reinvent somebody. It's a pretty remarkable job going on. Pretty remarkable. We'll do it next. We'll reset and keep it here on the Sileo Show. Thank you, Junior.
We took the truck that helped build this country and made it so it could power our homes. We took the vehicles businesses use to keep the lights on and made them run on the same thing.
I don't think it's close. Oh, no, I think you're dead on. I think Michigan State blows them out. I don't know. I really, and I say that because, let me think. Oh, I completely have. He's so terrible, man. Nick Saban. None of those guys are doing that. Dude, it would have been, it would never have happened. Let me think. Who's a great Italian? Oh, you mean like Lombardi? No, Lombardi. I'm completely wrong, but it's good and funny. And no, but it's funny. So yeah, it's okay, kid. Don't worry about it. I know what it is, dog. What do you think? I'm an Irishman like you? I don't wear Puma. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Then again, wait a minute. I might want to wear Puma. It ends in an A. I'm very partial. Puma's probably Italian. It's not really. It's a German company. Ends in A. Then again, Sammy Sosa's Italian too. He ends in A. Yeah. Anybody that's got an A at the end or a vowel at the end of your name, you're Italian as far as I'm concerned. No, only end. See, you got to remember something too. If you have an O at the end of your name, like Marino, De Niro, Pacino, Sileo, Acapulco. Hey, I like Acapulco. Okay? No, Ken, not Julius Caesar. All right? No, Ken, not Julius Caesar, okay? Oh, Sopranos. But why do you have to name all mafia guys? Really, why am I asking? What would you know? What would you know? What would you know, McNairn? Tony Danson, hell of a boxer, and I liked him in Taxi. Here we go. Anyway, reclamation projects, man. We're seeing them all over the NFL now. How about Ryan Tannehill and the job he's doing in Tennessee? Man, Derrick Henry is a moving refrigerator, is he not? That dude is a moving refrigerator. He is such a good football player, man. He is, man. That Tennessee team. And you know what you love about him, too? Everybody's so worried about him. They're so concerned about him that everyone else is flourishing. And Mike Vrabel, that tough dude that played in New England, played for Belichick. He is such a great coach. Man, Ohio State missed out big time. Not really getting him to be the head coach when he wanted that job, because that's where he played his college ball, was at Ohio State. And he wanted that job. And then they gave it to Meyer, and it's all good and all. But, man, Mike Vrabel has done such a great job. But the reclamation project, he saw a guy that was struggling, in Miami. And what did he do? He goes, hey, man, you come here. I'll give you every opportunity to see if you can start. Remember what they did? Remember they got the kid from Oregon, right? Marcus Mariota was the number one draft choice, Heisman Trophy winner. They gave him everything, including the yellow brick road, to see if he could become a starting quarterback on that football team. And what ended up happening? Ryan Tannehill was just sitting in the wings waiting for him to get an opportunity. And sure enough, they needed a quarterback to be a quarterback that wouldn't turn the football over. And guess what? Now he makes $30 million a year. Here was a guy that was thrown on the garbage pile. Okay? The garbage pile. And he ends up now winning as many games as anybody else in the league. And you got to give it to him, man. Congratulations to you guys. Tennessee is a formidable team. I think they're the number 2 seed now in the AFC. There have been really some great stories this year. And what makes the NFL so good, every single year we have these new stories of teams that just jump up, like Cincinnati. Tennessee's kind of been in the picture the last couple of years. But look at Arizona, too. Look at what they're doing. And you still have the old dogs that are in the room with, the Patriots are not going to be anywhere. I don't know. Mac Jones is looking a lot better, but Tennessee, man. Tennessee and Cincinnati have been the stories, in my opinion, through the first half of the season. And you got to throw Arizona in the conversation. We're going to talk a little bit more about Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury, the job that he's done there with Kyler Murray. Another guy who has completely changed the landscape of a losing program. It's been remarkable. I love that stuff. I love when a guy goes into a place. Like, what was Chicago Bulls basketball prior to Michael Jordan showing up? Right? What was it? Bob Love? I mean, what was like Bill Cartwright? What was Chicago Bulls basketball? It was nothing until Jordan showed up. And that's kind of what you have here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what you have here with some of these teams. Hey, we're going to take a look at week 7 of the NFL. We're going to do that. We'll reset and keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. All right, be right back. I never felt bad. Shut up. Keep it up, dude. I'm going to fillet your tongue. Oh, it wouldn't be hard, man. I'd put your boneyard body down and do it. Put you over my knee like you're 4 years old. Oh. Well, let me hook you up here. Big Sil said it had his act in about, 30 years. I'm still the reigning heavyweight champion of the world, undefeated. So if you want to put, hey, Kermit, you want to leap and you want to try that, you go right ahead, dog. Yeah, right. Anytime you want to leap, Kermit, you go right ahead. It's a title. No. You have to understand something. You have to convince me to kick your ass. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Tough guy? No. I'm just a finisher. Wow, man. I mean, you've been looking at your boys' pictures too much. Well, if I'm going to stick my head up someone's ass, let it be a winner's instead of somebody who puts topless, pictures of himself on my cell phone. Oh, I'm glad I passed. I didn't blow anything. That is great, Chris. Oh my God, that was funny, man. Way to go, Spider. I'll take any shit from anybody, Spider. Look what he is now. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. I know, man. A lot of fun we have on our social media platforms. Welcome aboard here. On this Football Monday / sports weekend that was filled with baseball, hockey. Hey, man, who would have ever thought that Turner actually would do a good job at putting on the NHL? I've actually been pretty thrilled with it, man. They're doing a nice job. ESPN, too. I mean, look, the coverage. How about this? I thought NBC did a nice job. I thought last year, though, they knew that they were, canning it. And so they kind of, put the white flag up. I still thought the guys were professional. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing here, man. They're doing a nice job covering the NHL. Good for them, man. It's a wonderful sport. Should be covering it with great respect. Those men love the game. The cities that love it. How about the Kraken, too, and the fans? Wow, it's really great. Good to see. Anyway, as I said, man, what a great weekend we're coming out of. Have everything. Basketball, too. What's funny about basketball, and, it's not I'm sitting around watching NBA basketball because I'm not really. But I'm keeping an eye on the story because there's a couple here going on. A little bit of politics in this whole thing with Kyrie Irving. Nets get out to a 1-3 start. And now everybody's saying, well, you guys need Kyrie Irving. It's what's this, too? You know what's really sad about my profession? Here. Well, Kyrie, he's to blame for the start of the 1-3 because he chooses not to be there. No, he chooses not to get vaccinated. So if that's part of it, you're blaming a guy for not getting vaccinated because that's his right to do this. He's not being paid. So there's nothing about money and him being paid on this. He doesn't believe in these mandates. Now, you got to remember something here. This is not the NBA. This is the state of New York doing this. Okay? So you shouldn't be mad, so to speak, at the NBA for this. But you so shouldn't be mad at Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving chooses not to get vaccinated and he's not sure of what is the vaccinations and the boosters and all the misinformation that is out there. By the way, how confident are you now in Dr. Fauci? I didn't realize Dr. Fauci hated dogs now. Whew. Man, not a good look, dude. Not a good look. Torturing dogs? Michael Vick went to prison for that. And I know this is experimental things. I get it. I'm not suggesting in any way he's in the same conversation with Michael Vick. However, when you are talking to dog lovers, whether you're doing it illegally with fighting dogs or whether you're doing experimental research on puppies and beagles and stuff, you're still going to get the same backfire. There's a lot of animal lovers, and I'm one of them. And I don't know, man. I mean, look, I get scientific research, and that's why I don't want anything. But, dude, man, really? You trust that guy? Not me. And the guy's a paisan. hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna trust my own heart and my own decisions here. And I get this. I'm backing Kyrie Irving, and I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan, but I'm backing him. If he so chooses not to get a vaccination, and he's basically putting up his salary, he makes $500,000 a night. So every night that the Nets play, he makes $500,000. He ain't getting that money. So if he's putting his cash up where his mouth is, then I completely back him 100%. Wouldn't you? For his rights, for his beliefs? How could you not? Oh, I know. You've got to be part of that group that believes that they should go on the air telling people what to do. I love my guy Chris O because, and again, I won't say anything about internal emails or anything, but I will say this. We are reminded on who we are as broadcasters every now and then by somebody, and our oaths on how we're to deliver information. I think sometimes we forget this. You tell somebody this, you tell somebody that, you have an opinion. It's one thing to have opinions. It's another thing to pretend you're like an expert on medical health, especially stuff that could kill you. You know what I mean? Horse dewormers or fiction that people say on the air. People that lie to get a reaction. I'm reminded, I was reminded when you sent that email out a couple of weeks ago. He's right. It's not my place. It is not my place to play scientific doctor or to be a political stump for either side. I'm telling you what to do. But when it comes to Kyrie, I could just use him as an example of what side I'm on. I'm on his side. If he so chooses not to get a vaccination, I'm 150% behind his decision. And if that tells you all you need to know about my stance, then so be it. And you can deduct which side I'm on. I'm on that side. Guy wants to do whatever he wants to do. He doesn't feel it's in his best interest. I've been keeping an eye on that. They got out to a 1-3 start. People are now starting to go, well, here's a guy that's just letting his team down. How's he letting his team down? By having an opinion. By the way, did you see what Southwest Airlines is doing now? They're not doing those mandates. Got the holidays coming up. You're going to have less pilots flying around during the holidays because of some dumbass mandate? Southwest canned that. They were right to can it. All those items that are in Los Angeles in the harbor? Folks, it's not the fact that the harbor's closed. It's the fact they don't have people unloading it because of mandates. You're basically firing people, and yet the shelves are empty. But you want people to put. It's crazy. You're like, our workforce is not working because you're making them not work. Woof. That's why, again, I love the fact that my sports was so awesome this weekend. It made me forget about all of that. And again, I haven't watched one NBA game, but I'm keeping an eye on that story. And you know what else I'm keeping an eye on? Did you see all the stadiums that were packed on Saturday with college football? To the brim. Did you see all the NFL stadiums packed on Sunday? To the brim. No mask. Nobody was waving Trump flags. Nobody was waving Biden flags. They were all waving their respective football teams' flags. Wisconsin, Michigan, Buccaneers. It's great. It was great. I so love to see this again. And Americans are getting back into the swing of going to the games and enjoying themselves at the games. You know, I was mentioning a couple segments ago about Tom Brady. And there's Brady just continuing to win and set the standard for just being a champion. Chris O's like this now. He's like, dude, man, really? I mean, Brady, yeah, but we're watching something, folks, that we'll never see again. You know, do you guys remember when Gretzky played, or do you remember when Jordan played? Or Tiger in his heyday. We all say this, or Bonds in his heyday. God, Bonds was incredible to watch. Bonds would get 3 pitches. I used to say this on the air when I was in San Francisco. Bonds would get 3 pitches a game and 4 at bats, and he would crush all 3 of them. He would crush all 3. He'd get 3 pitches because they were always pitching around him. It got to a point when I covered him. Let's see, I was there from like 95 until 99. And I just watched Bonds, and it was a freak show watching him play. They would pitch around him, and when you threw one down the middle, it was over. Bonds would he was the best baseball player I've ever seen. 8 Gold Gloves, 762 home runs. Come on, man, right? This guy has on-base percentage that rivals Babe Ruth. And I hope to God this year he gets into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I do. I hope he does. Incredible. What an absolute sensational time, though, right? And we're seeing that with Brady here. You're never going to see this ever again. You're just not. The winning, the record book, the leadership. Have you ever heard, Tom, anybody talk trash on Brady? Like a teammate? An ex-teammate? In his 21 years, I have yet to hear that. He inspires. Did you see that? Hey, tell me you didn't see that story too. You see that kid hold that sign up at Raymond James? Tom Brady, thank you very much. You helped me get through my cancer. You say it again. 9-year-old kid has a sign at Raymond James. Puts the sign up and says, Tom Brady, I want to thank you for helping me get through cancer. Brady goes over to the kid, signed something, gave him something, and talked. And Brady said after the game, that's what it's truly all about, inspiring people like that. Little 9-year-old kid was inspired by Tom Brady saying, thank you. You helped me get me through cancer. Man, I wish we covered more of those stories instead of some of the other crap that we cover. Because that, to me, brought a tear to my eye, man. You imagine being so gifted like that you inspire kids who are sitting there getting chemotherapy, 9 years old. You're a mother and father watching your kids suffer. And the little bit of joy that he gets is watching his hero and watching 12 play, and it inspires him, keeps him alive, keeps him going because he wants to keep watching him. He wants to do this. Maybe I can become that. Inspiring. How's that not something that should be plastered all over the media? But it's not because it doesn't get the clicks it needs. That, my friends, right there is what sports is truly all about. 9-year-old kid dying of cancer, going through chemotherapy, puts a sign up at Raymond James. Thank you, Tom. You saved my life from cancer. Anything else to be said? Brady goes over too. Spots him. Knows it. Kid dying of cancer. Dying of cancer. And Brady's influence helped save his life. I don't know about you. That's the good side of sports. That's what truly makes it all worth it. Top 5 college football teams. Had a great weekend in college football. Can anybody beat Georgia? We'll look at week 7 of the NFL. Do it at the bottom of the hour. Keep it here on the Dan Sileo Show. Another story that is about that kid. Kid was dying. Brady spots him. What? Huh. Well, he's probably swallowed his whistle. Wow, aren't you salty dog? My crew. Look, just shut the fuck up. Your mouth is just wearing me out, guy.
You need business mobility solutions that are more
Criminy almighty, man. Hey, yes, she is. Listen, Pat, we're only kidding, man, okay? Shut up, Chris, for I beat you with a boot. Trust me, it wouldn't be that hard, kid. I could probably beat you with a highlighter. A highlighter. Okay, I could beat you with my spectacles. Shut up, ding dong. Oh. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Music Maker on my YouTube channel just asked me, hey, Dan, what do you think of Tua this past weekend? They lose anyway. Not looking good in Miami. By the way, we'll look at week 7 of the NFL here in a couple minutes. Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa is dangled out there as a commodity. They want the guy with all the legal problems in Houston, Sean Watson. By the way, what's that got to do with winning? Some of you are going, wait a minute. Some of those are potential sexual assault cases. As far as I'm concerned, he's being paid. As far as I'm concerned, he's not an active roster. As far as I'm concerned, he's not in jail. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to sit here and play dumbass media guy and pretend that I know what's going on behind the scenes. He's not been arrested. He's barely been questioned. The commissioner and the league haven't suspended him. I'm just trying to figure out, what do you know that we don't know? Well, not all of these cases, Dan. He's innocent in. How do you know this? Do you know this for a fact? The Texans are paying Deshaun Watson $38 million not to play right now. Steven says that Watson is pushing to go to Miami. No, he's not. Misinformation again. No, he's not. He said he would prefer to play in Miami or Carolina. But he also said today, and John McClain, who is a fine reporter for the Houston Chronicle, he also fine when he was in the Nakatomi building too, by the way, just to keep score here. If we're talking about two different John McClains, just keeping it real here. Anyway, but the writer for the Chronicle is saying that he will only go to Miami. Well, if that's the case, here's what I would do if I were the Texans. Well, I'm not going to move him then. I'll move him in the offseason when I have more buyers. Why wouldn't you do that? So you're going to limit the places that he can land because that's what you're going to do for a guy like that and not make my team better when other teams can give me more pieces to build my football team. Texans need draft choices. Deshaun Watson, find him. You know what I'll do with that guy? I'll wait to the offseason. And if you really want to go sideways with this, I'll make sure Miami's not in the conversation when we're talking trade. And I'll only put the other teams on there. And if you want to not play here, then fine. So be it. I'll put it in the position, if I'm Nick Caserio, the Houston Texans general manager, then I'll put 31 teams on in front of you. And I'll make sure I don't even put Miami on the table if you want to play that game. I'm doing what's in the best interest for the Houston Texans, not what's in the best interest for a guy with 22 pending criminal assault cases against him. Sorry. I don't care what you have when it comes to the no trade. I'll set the deck so bad for you, I'll make this thing as ugly as it could possibly be. Okay? I'll do whatever it takes. Because quite frankly, right now, Deshaun Watson is, without a doubt, right now, hurting the Texans. Yeah, well, he only wants to play in Miami. I don't care. Hey, this goes out to all of our great friends in the Phoenix area at the Phoenix Hooters. Guys, I'm going to tell you, this is one of the absolutely best times to get over to the Hooters, then, at any one of the locations. You can ease into your work week with happy hour at Hooters, with half off select appetizers and $3 domestic drafts. Every Monday If you're looking for a good place and a good time, only at Hooters from 3 to 6. Do me a favor. Tell them that your boy Sileo sent you. It's always a great time. Week 7 of the National Football League told us an awful lot about some teams. We'll take a look at them. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. Thanks, kid. Nice job, kid. Well, you got it. No. Wow. No. Yep. I know this. You sit down to pee, so give me a break. Funny. Hurts my back to watch this. Hurts my back to stand. Yes. That's funny, Chris. Please. Wow. Have you gone completely disgusting? Why don't you just shut the fuck up? No crying either, guy. No, I don't think you do. You think you do, but you don't. I'm laughing at you, ding dong. You want to cry about it too? Let me know. I'll beat your ass with a fly swatter, guy. Oh, shot at the title. You mean the title that I've held for 30 years? Yeah, okay. Anytime you need it, come get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'll be eating a boot in about a minute. Oh, well, wait. Yes, honey. Man, you cry a lot. You know, but yeah, shut up. Yeah, okay, guy. Oh, yeah. fuck are you talking about? Okay, Junior. Wow. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Live from the studios in Southern California, too. And by the way, we have something called the bomb storm. No idea what it is. No idea. I've never heard bomb storm. I guess it just drops. Oh, tell me, do you know what the bomb cyclone is? Yes. Yes. Huh. Yeah. With Seattle right now, the game being played there. Yeah, so it covers an entire region. Is this like the day after the movie? The day after, is that what this thing is like supposed to be like? Yeah, with the nukes. No. The movie with the movie. Yes, the one with the weather and the weather. Is that what this is supposed to be like? Huh. Okay. Well, you should see my bomb after I eat gabagool. I'll show you a storm. You try eating gabagool. I'll show you. Hey, I'll tell you this, man. Rowboats ain't got anything on big sills. How you doing? I'll show you. Hey, give me some gabagool. I'll clean everything up. I'm sorry, man. Oh, my God. Oy. Oh, good night, man. If you make it in too much olive oil, hoy! Oh, my God. You think Niagara Falls has got a big whip to it. I don't know, man. The bomb storm. No, not yet. I'm getting my, soups and stews and stuff. That's my wife. She's making a stew, and I'm going, oh, my God almighty. I'll be eating ham sandwiches tonight. My Y2K kid. Is that thing really working? Is everything going to shut off? Not after a nice bowl of gabagool. Oh, man. I can make my own moat. Warlords. How you doing? Let me get into this. Week 7 NFL. Hopefully everybody had a chance. Yes. I understood. The power grid's not going to go off again, is it? Yeah. Hey, when that thing all went off, Chris was like, "My God Almighty, man, our like alternative power source didn't work, and this and that. Oh my God, what a nightmare that was for you guys, right?" Guyans. Hey, no. I understand the cannolis get a little bit frosty when there's no power source. How you doing? Yeah. You know that ball that the guy had on like Stowaway, the guy with Mr. Wilson? Wilson, yeah. Well, he was frozen. He was frozen like a snowball. Yeah. And good night. I'll tell you this. How we doing? Here we go. Monday through Friday here. Big Sills is on here on USA Radio Network. Thank Chris for bringing the room down. Let me go. Get away from me. Get away, Gabagool. Yeah. All right, man. Let's get into this. There's some really great games. Some phenomenal games this past weekend. Watched almost every single one of them, too, as much as I could get to. Because we're now at the halfway point of the season here. This is pretty much going to be it. I know there's an extra game, but we're starting to learn a lot. And Thursday night football is Arizona versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers are sitting at 6-1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They're 6-1. They took care of the Washington team 24-10. Aaron Rodgers was great. 274, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's playing great football. Washington needs a quarterback. This Tyler Heineke kid, 95 yards passing. You talk about another football team that's in dire straits when they're looking for a quarterback. Washington falls to 2-5 on the season. The entire NFC East outside of Dallas sucks. And that game on Thursday may be one of the best games. Undefeated Arizona versus the 6-1 Green Bay Packers. I can't wait for that game. And Green Bay, hey, remember everyone what they were saying after week 1? They got beat by the Saints. Team's now 6-1 on the season. Yeah, so much for Aaron Rodgers not playing Aaron Rodgers type football. How about this game? The Titans 27, the Chiefs 3. The Kansas City Chiefs do not resemble the same team even last year, let alone 3 years ago. Why is that, you think? Well, when you pay a guy $500 million and you've got to put big money on the table, okay, what happens? Well, you've got to pay everybody else, and you can't because you're paying one guy. And the Chiefs are now 3-4. Who would have thunk that? Tennessee is a hell of a football team. Derrick Henry didn't really even have a Derrick Henry game. 86 yards rushing, but Ryan Tannehill was sensational. 21-27, 270 yards passing in the game. They run their record now to 5-2 on the season. Tennessee, with that running back, is a very good football team right now, and they beat the brakes off of the Chiefs on Sunday. Tua Tagovailoa, we just had a question asked. Tua played well in the game, but Matt Ryan ended up coming back. And the Falcons, how about the Falcons, man, what they've done? The Falcons have now evened their record to 3-3 on the season. This was after losing the opener to the Eagles. And Matt Ryan played well, 330 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, I believe it was. They did a really nice – Kyle Pitts showed up, 163 yards for the rookie, the kid out of Florida. Dolphins fall to 1-6. And why is that, you think? Well, they fell to 1-6 because they've been shopping Tua Tagovailoa the entire year. And everyone knows it. It's the worst kept secret in the NFL that the Dolphins don't like Tua. As much as they keep telling him they like him, he's their guy, the rest of the football team has quit on Brian Flores. There's no question. How about the Patriots? They put 54 points up on the Jets. I don't know about you, but is it that Bill Belichick likes kicking the doorknobs off of? Doesn't he like killing the Jets? I mean, that whole fiasco when he was named the coach and then he ended up getting traded to the Patriots. Does he not like to kill that team? And as I said, Robert Saleh sucks as a coach. So far, in his brief stint as a coach, man, 13 points coming off a bye. You were not prepared in this game whatsoever. Damian Harris had 100 yards rushing, I believe I saw yesterday. Patriots are sitting at 3-4. Are they riding the ship with Mac Jones? Mac Jones threw for 300 yards in the game. Yeah, man, I think they're looking a little bit better. They're not a playoff team right now, but they're looking a little bit better. What's happened to the Panthers? They've won 3 in a row. Now they've lost, and they're now 3-4 on the season. Holy cow. The Giants beat them. And the Giants are not very good. 25-3, I think that score was. Daniel Jones did a nice job. 200 yards in the air. They need a little bit more. But the Panthers now, Sam Darnold just doesn't look good. And I think that's got a lot to do with what we're hearing with the Deshaun Watson rumors. I think both the teams that are in the conversation truly for Deshaun Watson, Carolina, and the Miami Dolphins, I think both these teams right now are doing this. Everybody in the locker room right now is going like this, man. Well, these guys are our quarterback. They're just not our guy. And the Giants, they don't have Saquon Barkley. So just saying, I mean, I think both these football teams, as I said, Carolina and the Giants and Miami, are all like in that purgatory because they're all going after Deshaun. This was the shocker. I think one of the shockers. I think that Tennessee game was a shocker. But how about Joe Burrow, man? I mean, the Bengals are 5-2 on the season. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC as of tonight. And they beat the Ravens 41-7. That game wasn't close. Joe Burrow threw for 416 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson ran for like 88 yards, but that wasn't enough. How about the rookie Jamar Chase? The kid from LSU had 200 yards. I think I saw where he has 754 yards in receiving yards. Do you know in 7 games, he is the fastest receiver to 700 receiving yards for his first 7 games in NFL history. That includes Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. That's how insane that is. This guy's got bigger numbers than Rice and Moss. and it's in Cincinnati. Bengals have turned it around, man. Hey, give it up to the Raiders. Okay? How about the Raiders, man? They lose their coach. They have chaos all over the organization. But the Raiders are now 5-2 on the season. They beat the Eagles 33-22. The 22 point, this was really a 33-7 game. They were garbage points. That 15 points in the fourth quarter, it was garbage points. They were never close in the game. And the Eagles are a train wreck. Derek Carr was great, 323 yards in the game, 2 touchdowns, and he looked absolutely fabulous. And this is without the Raiders having their top receiver, the tight end. Raiders, man, give it to them. That's really good for what they were able to do. Put all that chaos behind them with those emails with John Gruden and all that controversy. They've been able to win. How about this? They've won 2 in a row since Gruden's been out of the building. It's pretty remarkable, actually. I thought that would implode the team. No way, it galvanized them. How about the Rams and Matthew Stafford playing against Jared Goff? Was that not weird looking? So a year earlier, Stafford was in Detroit and Goff was in Los Angeles. And both guys changed jerseys, basically. And Matthew Stafford's playing great football. He has 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, 28 of 41. He's in the conversation for the most valuable player award. He really is. But, I mean, they've lost 1 game. I think the Chargers beat the brakes off them, 28-19. I'll say this to you about Dan Campbell's Lions. I'm a fan. I'm sorry. I really like what I'm seeing with them. I think that they are a team that's improving. They're playing hard. They're not quitting on their coach. They love their coach. It's a damn shame, man. They've lost so many tight games this year. How about this Cardinal team? 7-0. First time since 1974 that the Cardinals, and they were in St. Louis then, that they're 7-0 on the season. 31-5, they beat the Texans and the hapless Texans, a chaos organization right now. This whole Deshaun Watson story. Kyler Murray was great, 20 of 28, 261 and 3 touchdowns. Chase Edmonds was enough to give them enough on the ground with 80 yards. How about Zach Ertz, too, coming over from Philadelphia? You know, he gets a touchdown, almost 70 yards of receiving yards, gets about 3 catches, really did a nice job. I mean, you put up around 15 yards a catch, that's really going to move the chains, and they're going to implement him more into that offense. That's good stuff. How about Brady? 4 touchdowns, 211, 20 of 36. I mean, the Buccaneers right now, do you know the Bucs, this is their best start in franchise history? They're 6-1 on the year. So Brady has, in the last 2 years, counting a Super Bowl, he's 17-7 as a member of the Buccaneers. 17-7. You thought you would be saying that about a New England Patriots team. This is crazy. 17-7. The Buccaneers have the best team in football, in my opinion, because they have the greatest player in the history. And give it up to Carson Wentz. He goes into a monsoon in San Francisco last night. It was the late game. And what does he do? He goes in there. He outplays Jimmy Garoppolo. They get the win 30-18. He's on pace for 4,000 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions, and a 102.8 quarterback rating. I don't know about you, but that's how you resurrect your career. And I think what he also does is he throws shade on what's going on in Philadelphia. There's chaos in Philly. Hey, do me a favor, go to podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. Headphones, earbuds, everything that you need. This is your one-stop place here, okay? Furniture, gamers, processors. There's not a thing they don't have on this website. 25% off everything. Use the promo code Sileo, S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. $5 to $5,000. Podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. A pushing match in a Laker game I saw. And Magic Johnson had some pretty critical words about LeBron James. We'll hit on it next. Who? Oh, that's standard. Yeah. Entitled. Holy cow, they got Breeze on now. So they've had Breeze Brady. Dan Mikowski. Who's that? Oh, Don Mikowski, dickhead. Wow. Nice Godfather reference. Nice Godfather reference. We'll sell it there. I'm not going to say because you know why, but hey, watch. We'll sell it there. They're animals. They have no souls. They're animals anyway. That's a great series, dude. Oh, yeah. No, what happened was you forgot there was a writer's strike. And what they did was David Chase didn't get the same writers back, and it was never the same really after. I think it was 5. Oh, okay. No, that series is great. I guess it just reminded me when I was talking about the Lakers, and I guess Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard got into a pushing match, and even Magic Johnson said something because he's never seen anything like that for a Laker team. Lakers aren't good. They're just not very good. Just because you put star players on your roster, I don't care what sport it is, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a star result. But I've got to hit on this because everybody else in the media will be afraid to. And here on USA Radio Network, I get a chance to do this. Do you guys know who Enes Kanter is? He's a basketball player for the Boston Celtics. And he is the only NBA guy that is speaking out against Nike and China. You know what his comments are? And by the way, I've reposted them at Dan Sileo Show, his videos. I've been saying this now for over 2 years about Nike. Nike will stand up for BLM. Nike will tell us about the problems that we have in our country. Nike will constantly say who is in the White House if he's right or wrong for our country. And they will point out all the time the problems with America. But you know what they won't do? They will not address the slave labor that makes their own products. They will not address the communist government that enslaves people for the same things that they're criticizing this country for. They will not, in any way whatsoever, this is Nike I'm talking, ever criticize the president of China, but they'll criticize our own government. And they use slave labor. They murder people. They put them in concentration camps. Muslims are not allowed to speak their mind. You know, Enes Kanter now is wearing these shoes. It says Free China on them. Do you know the amount of heat he's getting from the NBA now because he's doing this and making a public statement? Enes Kanter is not a star. I'll be shocked if he stays on the team, and I'll be shocked if they keep him in the league. He'll be sacrificed because you can't have someone like that bringing up the kind of things he's bringing up. You know that we have NBA guys endorsing shoes that are being made by slaves. If you're a African American and you're wearing Nike shoes right now, don't you see the hypocrisy? I really don't have to point that out to you, do I? Slaves make those shoes. You rip America for some of the things in the history of our country when it comes to slavery. But because you make money, you won't stand up for injustices around the world? You're a hypocrite. A slave is a slave in America, China, Australia, Germany, Russia. Pick a country. If there's injustice like that, it should be pointed out everywhere. What it also does is your message, your BLM message, falls on deaf ears when you're not protecting everybody or standing up for everybody. What a sin. So it's okay for you to put those shoes on that you get paid millions of dollars, knowing that people in slave labor camps make those shoes. I'm sorry, but how can you talk about American slavery when you're part of the problem of today? NBA doesn't like this message. And again, you know what? I'm not sure how many of the players even know it. How do you do business with a country like that? You know, 87% of Nike's footwear is made in China. I don't know how you do business like that. I don't know how the NBA allows. I don't know how our country. Where's our people in Washington? All right, we'll reset. Keep everything right here on the Dan Sileo. I do too, dude. All right, I'm gonna go, bro. Love you. I hear you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eat, man. Come on. I'll see you later, brother. Thank you, man.